What's up, Jay Mewes here with a special guest, Jack Huston. Huston. Hello, sir. You might know him from Boardwalk Empire, the Twilight Saga, as Sandman from the all-new Spider Noir. Jack's gonna pick 5 things that mean something to him.
No matter what, over the holidays, there won't be a day without.
And he's gonna pour his heart out.
The greatest gift I ever got given was from Jack Nicholson, and we lost it in a fire. Oh! The first time I ever got on stage, and I fucking blanked. It was the greatest dramatic pause anybody had ever seen.
Oh, I love it. We're getting meat and potatoes, if you will. You win, you could become a millionaire. You ready?
All right.
It's time for 5 things. Court!
It's always different coming to like an American convenience store, because I grew up in the UK and everything's different here. I used to come and visit, my father was American, so I used to come and visit my aunt, Angelica, and you know, it was such a big to-do when you come over to Los Angeles because everything was different. One of the great things that was different was all of the candy was different going up here. So I used to come over and I used to get as much candy as I possibly could because I went to a boarding school in the UK. I went at 7 years old, it's crazy.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, it's like going to the army, it's like in the barracks. But what used to happen is in big holidays, like summer holidays and all the rest of it, I used to get to come over to America and, you know, fly on my own and come visit my father or my aunt, which was usually the fun one because she was doing a movie or something great and glossy and it's cool. But I always remember this Hubba Bubba. We didn't have it in the UK. This was the 6 feet for fun, so you'd have that long strand of it. It was the best thing in the world. It's amazing. And when you come to America, the best thing was all the movies had come out earlier. You'd see them like 6 months before they came out in the UK. So I remember coming out and seeing any of the Jim Carrey movies, like Ace Ventura or Master, like that. You'd see them like 6 months before they came out in the UK. So you come back with all the candy, you'd see all the new movies. It was like the best thing ever. I get to be on a movie set, which was like heaven to me. It's what made me want to become an actor. So, I mean, this was the shit.
Yeah, I haven't had any in forever.
I know, nor have I.
When you say your aunt in the movies, Angelica Huston.
Yeah, my kids grew up watching The Addams Family, which she did. She won an Oscar, amazingly, for a film which my grandfather directed called Prizzi's Honor, which he did with Jack Nicholson. Awesome. And they were together for about 17 years. So the greatest gift I ever got given was, I was about 5, and I got a Jack in the Box, and it was from Jack, and it said, "To Jack, a Jack from Jack."
That's awesome.
And it was the coolest thing, and we lost it in a fire.
Oh, damn.
So there we go. Well, this is something already.
Oh.
The first thing that was sort of, I say, got me a bit of notoriety was Boardwalk Empire.
Okay.
And Boardwalk Empire, I played a character called Richard Harrow, who was a sharpshooter. It was funny because I was in the UK at that time and I was pretty much giving up on acting. So I got sent this one script for Boardwalk Empire and it was for another part. And I said, I don't want to do that part, I like this guy.
Yeah.
He spoke funny, he was missing half his face. So I was like, you know what? They wouldn't see me for it, so I went and put myself on tape in the UK, and he's all got fucked up from an explosion. So I was like, well, maybe his vocal cords got messed up. I put cotton wool in my mouth, I put on this weird voice, and I was on the train with my brother, and I was like, what do you think about doing this voice? And he was like, oh God, that's rough. So I was like, oh, it's great. So I went and put myself on tape, and it was the only time they ever cast an actor from an audition tape.
I love that.
From
You
doing
just
that.
sent it in, you're like, check this
And
out.
I was like, fuck it, man, I want to do it. I want to do characters,
that.
man. And that was the first time I got to really play a character.
I'm so horrible at doing other accents, but did you know right off the bat, like, hey, if they give me a ton of dialogue, I can do American easy?
You know what, when I first got here, it was the hardest thing for me was doing an American accent. I've been here now 21 years, so I actually can slip into it easier. Like, you know, I got 2 American kids, which is so weird when your children speak in a different accent to you. But the good thing about that is, because my voice was so messed up and I was doing it, it made it a little easier because they weren't quite able to pick out if I was doing it perfect.
I love that.
Yeah, man.
So this one just makes sense. Let's find one and let's play a game.
Yeah, let's do it, man.
Let's go, and it's Fortnite. I don't know, have you ever played Fortnite?
Of course, man. My son loves Fortnite.
Me too.
There we go. Oh. Wait. Oh, come on. Come on. Last one. This is where it all happens. Oh, I hit it from behind. Okay, here we are, dude. This I told you, there's a lot of acting involved in Boardwalk.
Did they show any scenes where you shot like a sniper rifle?
Yes, my very first episode, I describe how I shot a snipe after waiting 3 days in a blind for him. I shot him perfectly just under the eye. Great first episode.
All right, let's see.
Come on, he's gonna get 4 for 4.
Ooh.
Oh, no.
Oh, yeah, it's not easy.
Look at that, it's not hard.
Oh my goodness,
It's
it was,
hard.
yeah. All right, neither one of us hit the mark.
Okay, well, now this aisle isn't, I'm gonna sort of just say alcohol in general. And there's a very famous restaurant here, which I'm sure you know, Musso and Frank. Musso and Frank's one of the oldest restaurants in Los Angeles, and there was a back room they used to call the writer's room, because all of the writers used to go and have dinner at Musso and Frank's, and then they go back into the writer's room and they drink, as you can imagine, some of those Hemingway characters, the F. Scott Fitzgeralds, the people who really love to booze it up, and they talk out ideas, which for a little while we took over and we owned it as a bar, and we turned it into this amazing sort of like private bar called the Writer's Room again. Sadly, it lasted for about 5 years. When my first film, the only place I wanted it to premiere was at the Venice Film Festival. We were lucky enough to get into Venice, and when I got there, there was this amazing mixologist bartender called Walter, and he'd done this beautiful book, which was like hand-painted of all these perfect cocktails that he's designed himself.
That's awesome.
And he gave me the last copy of this book, and he'd given this book to people like, you know, George Clooney, like incredible actors, and it's got a recipe for things you've never heard of. Every type of alcohol, you see the champagne, the Prosecco, the rum, up here, all of those, every single one of these, and I promised him I would do a shout out one of these days, and this was like 2 years ago, so now's my time. This is a shout out for Walter, the greatest mixologist known to man. Alcohol, it's the whole history of that.
And we'll just grab this just to mark
There we go.
It's so interesting to me that someone's like, you know what? I'm really good at this, and I'm gonna become a mixologist. I always find it like odd, like someone finds it like, you know what?
I agree.
Yeah, right. It's like,
but by the way, he was also just a gentleman. He was one of those people who took such pride, and it was a real art form to him. He would be able to create something magical with that.
Tasteful
That's the best
beautiful.
part.
So love that. All right, so here we go. We're gonna go right here to this aisle.
Okay, now I'm seeing English breakfast tea, Twinings. Coming from the UK, as you can imagine, all we do is drink tea. That is true. Yeah. We do love tea. Have you ever heard of a Builders? If someone says, oh, I'll take a Builders.
No.
Builders is a black tea, usually something much sort of like you get like a Yorkshire Gold or a PG Tips. And it means milk and sugar. You just say, I'll have a Builders. That's your version. And the first thing I ever did out of school, I was an understudy and assistant stage manager. All I had to do was make tea for all of the actors, and all I got to do was be on the job and watch these amazing actors perform on stage. The first time I ever got on stage, I got through the entire play until the very last scene. It was me and Rebecca Hall, 1,600 people at the Strand Theatre, massive theatre. I walk on stage and I fucking blank completely. And I felt a bead of sweat start here and slowly go all the way down my face. Finally, you heard them give me the prompt, and then I fell straight back into it and I carried on with the scene. And I spoke to my best friend Sam after, and he said, for a minute, it was the greatest dramatic pause anybody had ever seen. Because you just got on stage and just stared at Rebecca for a minute. And that takes me back to the stage and doing all the rest of it. And it kind of,
I love that.
Yeah,
I love it. That's what it was like for me for Clerks. I swear I didn't plan on making movies. Kevin was like, I wrote a part for you. And I swear every scene, I would ask Kevin to put the camera on a tripod, and they'd hit record, and I'd make everyone go outside. And it would just be me and him, because I was so nervous.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
When you first start out, there's so many little things that you have to sort of eke out, and now it's like a distant memory, but it's still like, that's how you cut your teeth. It's like me blanking on stage. I'm telling that story now, 24 years later.
So that's number 4. I love it. We're getting meat and potatoes, if you will.
All right.
And then we're...
Okay, no, we're still here. I know, I'm seeing certain things, but it's funny because, like, I look at things and I'm sort of generalizing, but I just see the pasta. My father's mother was a lady called Ricky Soma, who was the first prima ballerina for the New York Ballet School. She was incredible. She was on the cover of Life magazine. And when my grandfather and she married, he met her in an Italian restaurant that was owned by her father. They called Grandpa Soma. That's my Italian side of the family. So all of us, no matter what, over the holidays, no matter what, every week,
without some pasta.
Without.
And so is that your favorite, you think, out of all the pasta?
I would definitely say go for the spaghetti. That's actually a bucatini, which is a larger spaghetti, which is a thicker one, which is very good as well. Very good for cacio e pepe. Beautiful though. Yeah, boom.
So we have our 5 things, but before we move on, I was thinking, like you say, in England, if you come into a convenience store, not everything's the same. But do you have like canned goods, like Campbell?
You know what? In my office, this is hysterical. The first film I did was a film called Factory Girl, which was about Andy Warhol. And Andy Warhol obviously did all the Campbell soup cans, thing like that. And I have in my office, because Guy Pearce played Andy Warhol, and it goes to Gerard from Andy, open me if you get lonely. And it's from Thing, and it still hasn't been opened. So apparently I haven't been lonely yet, but but I kept it as an emblem from Guy. That was from Andy to Gerard.
All right, so we picked our 5 items, and now we're gonna play a game called Muse or Lose. John is gonna ring all the items up, and you and I are gonna try to guess exactly what that number is, and the closest person to it wins. And if you win, I'm gonna buy you some lottery tickets, and if I win, we'll figure that part out after.
Okay.
So, boards! Ha! All right, here we go.
I'm gonna give it a 29. I've done a weird math on this, but I'm gonna go there.
All right, John, what is the price?
5081.
I'm closer, but you're 14 off. I'm like,
no,
I'm
you're
11
great.
off.
Yeah, you're like 11. That's great. There you have it.
There we go.
I'll see you next time. 5 things. Do it, Doug. Check out another awesome episode here and subscribe for more 5 Things with Jay Mewes. All right, that's a goodie.